This is Suzanne Wagner. You can find all my information at suzannewagner.com or on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, TikTok, any other of the other places. Thank you for joining me. Let's do my blog for today. When I lived in Berlin from 1978 through 1982, which was during the Cold War, my entire apartment was the size of a bedroom. In that, I had a bathroom where I washed all my clothes by hand and hung them up every day. The entryway had a small closet, and the tiny kitchen had 2 burners, a sink, and a small refrigerator. I did not realize how little one needs to survive until I lived in Germany. I had 1 pot, 1 frying pan. I had 2 bowls, 2 plates, 2 sets of silverware, and 2 glasses. The refrigerator was so small that one had to go to the store every day practically to get fresh things. But during that time, the theater work schedules accommodated such a thing. Stores were not endlessly open in Berlin at that time, and most had very restricted hours to shop. So I would get up, get dressed, go to work, take class, do 1 set of rehearsals, eat lunch at the cantina. They had great soup and bread every day. And then I would go shopping because we had a break between 1 p.m. and 4 p.m. to do what we needed. Stores were open then, and I would walk to the store with my shopping bags and carry everything home, put it away, change my clothes, set my old tights and leotards from the morning into the bathtub to soak in the soap, and then go back to work, where we would work from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. if we were not performing. If we were performing, then I would get back to the theater by 5 p.m., then sort out my point shoes for the performance, put makeup on, and do my hair before all the other women came in, because by the time they would come in to put their makeup on, they would all start smoking. I was one of the few that did not smoke. The room would become thick with cigarette smoke, and I could not breathe in the space. Most would light the cigarette and just let it sit there and smoke without actually smoking most of it. Regardless, I had to get out of there for my own health. I never could use cigarettes to control my weight, nor did I even try. I had watched a grandmother die horribly from smoking 4 packs a day, and that was enough a deterrent to make me stop and never try cigarettes. Then I would go to the studio and warm up, try on each pair of shoes that might be good for the show that night, and then do the entire ballet with those shoes on, trying the most difficult passages of the ballet full out to feel the shoes and to get my balance just right and my energy focused in a way that I felt calm. Too often I watched other dancers who did not know how to manage adrenaline well. They would try to save energy before the performance and so be jonesing on adrenaline, and that they would go out on the stage and actually be shaking from the rush of adrenaline. I knew I had to work through my adrenaline and blow it out my body by being tired enough that then I dropped into a calm place. Once I figured out which shoes were the ones for that show, I would mark them on the bottom or inside the shoes so I would know which pair I needed to have on for each section or act of a ballet. Then I would go back to the dressing room, and by that time all the women would be warming up, and I could open the windows and let out the smoke and cool off the room. I am sure most never noticed that I did that. Often by then, the costume dressing ladies were bringing in the costumes, and shortly after that, the wig ladies would come in and put pin curls in our hair, wrap a black cloth around our head, and then put a wig on us and lock it in with huge pins that would often push against our scalps before putting the crowns on top of that. Wigs were heavy for a lot of reasons, and the headdresses could be even heavier. It was common to have a headache while one was dancing because of the pins sticking into the skull, but losing a wig during a pirouette was not an option, though it was common to do fast turns and lose pins as they flew out from your head. The Berlin Ballet loved to use wigs. It was common for us to have to navigate them and change them, as well as costumes, makeup, and shoes. Backstage was often barely controlled bedlam. What it takes for the entire production of live theater is often missed by an audience. While an audience can enjoy what they see, they do not often know that there's so much extensive preparation that goes into live theater. I appreciate all those that lived in the background of a theater to make all things magical and beautiful, and a vehicle to transport the performers into another world, another place, and another time. Thanks, everyone.